Hello, welcome to Court of the Rings on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I am Lotro's Community Manager, Cordova, and I'll be with you for about an hour here till about 1 o'clock, hanging out, having some fun. I'm going to be in-game later. I'm going to be on Bull Roar here in just a bit. I forgot to copy a character over, though, so let me see if I can do that quick. While I'm getting to some of the other news and Q&A and what have you here this fine Friday. So, hope everything is going well with you. Let me select a character here real quick to copy my peeps over to. I want to bring over Stompion. Copy to Bullroar. I get to go to Palantir as a choice there as well. Am I sure I want to copy Stampion from Landreval to Bullroar for free? Yes. Congratulations. All right, you're welcome. So how's it going, everyone? All right. What do we got going on this weekend? We have got a Virtue XP boost happening this weekend. I believe next weekend is Hobnanigans on the Lotro calendar. We're working toward a small patch, but I don't think that patch is going to happen next week now. At one point, we had a very small patch set for next Wednesday, but I think that's actually going to be moved maybe to the following Wednesday instead. And the reason for that is we have two things happening next Wednesday of import. One, we got another fairly significant batch of maintenance. We do have kind of some hardware optimization work and virtual kind of hardware or whatever optimization work and all that other stuff's happening. So that's why some of these most recent weekly restarts have taken longer than usual. It's because we're doing work related to game performance, related to kind of optimizing our game worlds. We're making sure we're doing everything we can to improve the game worlds for you, up to and including making changes to the game that you've seen some of so far, and hopefully we'll see more of in the future, up to and including that bandwidth issue. Now, I know a lot of people were saying the bandwidth lift that we did, a week or so ago now, where we allowed further bandwidth. We basically removed the bandwidth cap in terms of, well, not removed because you still have to have something in place, but Lotro's has an opportunity to use a little more bandwidth now. Anyway, the general feedback was it didn't make a huge difference. I suspect it will have made the most difference in raids. So, but see, that's also an area where there are a confluence of other things that are causing game performance and lag. So it's real hard to know. But I can tell you this, though. We put it out on the other game side, the exact same change over on the DDO side this week, and it made a huge difference on their character bank loading in particular. And their reincarnation, there's like whatever, I'm not getting into it here. Big, bulky system UIs that took forever to load made a big difference on that side. So while it may have not made a huge difference on the Lotro side in terms of regular gameplay, I know that change is a positive one. It may not have fully manifested itself in the Lotro game worlds at this point. Maybe there's like other sources of lag, for example, that might be interfering with, the average ability to just kind of see an improvement. But that tells me that when whatever else is causing those problems goes away, this will have made a difference, because it made a massive difference over on the other game side here this week. Yeah, big difference. Okay, so anyway, that's going on. So we do have some of that next Wednesday, but the other big piece we have going on next Wednesday is we are going to be debuting. Yeah, we've been threatening to do it for a while, but we're actually doing it. We are going to be bringing you a new Lotro.com. Yes, the new Lotro.com is set to go live next Wednesday. I'm going to have a busy morning, that's for sure. As far as what you need to know, nothing. The forums are staying the same. That's the main thing. Forums are not changing with this deployment. In the future, we would like to do new forums. We've already talked quite a bit about that, how our current intention is to move the forums over to a completely new software environment, basically a whole new environment, and that means starting fresh. And the reason we need to do that is because the old Lotro forums, if you think about the history all the way dating back to what, the early 2000s, right? You have so many like old account management systems on account management systems and old forums and cruft and just crud, right? So we have to kind of start fresh. That's been what we've learned after years of kind of going back and forth and figuring out what to do here. Every single time we look at it, it's like things would be so much better if we would just be able to start fresh. So that's what we're going to be doing on the Lotra forums. The old forums are going to go into a read-only state. The new forums will be new and shiny and awesome, and hopefully have even maybe some blogs and stuff in it. It's going to be sweet. Anyway, that ain't happening though anytime soon. That might be later this year if hopefully, fingers crossed. I know we keep wanting to do that, but that's a very big process involving many departments across several different groups. You know, Daybreak and SSG and elsewhere, you know, in some cases. So it's a lot to coordinate, and that's why it keeps kind of getting kicked down the road. But that is going to happen, and the start of it is happening this Wednesday with a whole new Lotra.com. It's going to look better. It's going to run better. And it's going to, for like, say, on the SSG side, it's going to be so much easier to like maintain and improve, and hopefully give it a little bit of time to kind of work on our templates and some of the other kinds of things that are, you know, a little on the old school side right now. We're going to have a lot more ability to do things on the new website than we did on the old one. So hopefully it'll be a much better experience for everybody. All right. But the forums aren't changing. So in terms of what you need to know, login and everything, nothing's going to change there. You can expect Wednesday's downtime to be probably something in the range of 4 or 5 hours. 4 hours, I'm going to say. Probably something like 9 to 1. And then the new Lotra.com will open up. So, but yeah, we've got a lot to do. Even me today and this weekend, going to be kind of polishing up a lot of articles. I will say this, though. One of the things I have not been able to get to, although I have started doing the kind of behind-the-scenes work to make it happen, is to consolidate the history of the game's release notes to the extent that I can still find official copy for that stuff in one place on the new Lotra.com. That is a priority for me. It's unfortunately going to have to be a longer-term priority, because as I look... So the history is with Update 27, so really not that long ago, but with Update 27, I made the executive decision to put all release notes now and in the future on Lotra.com. No more forums. I don't think the forums is a great place to store release notes. I know that there are those that disagree with me. That's fine. I understand that. My personal management would opt to put it all in one place on a .com that you can access that looks maybe a little better than it does on the forums. And doesn't require, yeah, whatever. Anyway. So everything Update 27 and on is, boom, it's going to be in the new Lotra.com. Everything from Update 27 all the way back, as far as I can tell, to about 2013 is still on the old forums. Some of it may be hard to access, but I should be able to access most of that. I only have, when I go into our kind of internal documentation, and I understand the wiki's different here, but when I go to my internal documentation, I personally have not seen any release notes earlier than Update 11 on the Lotra side. On the DDO side, we have everything dating back to the start of the game on our DDO.com. And some of that is because I have been in charge of it since 2010. And I adopted the beliefs of the people who came before me in regard to properly managing your release notes. But you know, people do have... There are many ways you can do it, and putting it on the forums is certainly a valid way to do it. But I want to get it all consolidated, because now we live in a state where we have some that doesn't exist anymore officially. Some of it is on the forums but hard to access. Some of it is on the forums and accessible, and then the newer stuff is on Lotra.com. So that is not going to be able to most likely happen by Wednesday. I mean, if you think about the process of going through every patch and every major point, every release, going all the way back to 2007, you're looking at hundreds of pages that need to be copied over into the new Loacher.com and formatted. My intention is to do that, a bunch of it still before Wednesday, but then kind of trickle that out as I find time, and taking it systemically where I can just kind of take it one release at a time and just slowly kind of work my way back to the earliest. Pre-update 11, though, I might have to rely on the community wiki. I think that may be the best source of existing release notes for that old stuff. And I don't know how I feel about kind of taking the community stuff, copying it into an official source, and just using it. Maybe I need to say something like, this is archival from the wiki or something. Or maybe I can find those old release notes and I just haven't found me. So there we go. Anyway, that's really the big thing. I know it's not maybe the most interesting news to the general public, but a new Loacher.com clearly is a big deal to your community manager, and it's something I've been having to spend a whole lot of time on since really a little bit before Thanksgiving. So it's something I'd probably put 100 hours into populating articles on that stupid thing. Except I like it. It's looking much better, and it is much easier to use. So I'm looking forward to it. All right, let me get to chat here before I go on to Bullroar, assuming I can get onto Bullroar. Let me just do that with my copy character, and I'll show you the new reward track that were put as a debut onto the preview server here this week. All right. In Louisiana, you would all die if you got that kind of weather. That's probably, well, I mean, obviously you wouldn't all die, but yeah. However, you know, Louisiana's got its own things in regard to natural weather troubles that us in the Boston area don't, so we'll take our nor'easters and you can have your hurricanes, I guess. Although we can get hurricanes too, but not too often. So is the My account going to change? Squee asks on Twitch. Not at this time. There may probably, when we go to the new forums, there might be something, but honestly, I don't see the My account probably changing that much, because I think, if anything, we're going to be moving to a system that communicates more effectively with My account. So if anything, I think it'll kind of be the reverse, but yeah. I'm just reading through chat. Okay. Yeah, I can't really answer that one. I'm sorry. Hey, I am not sure if it was just a rumor that the class trait set would become free. Is this true? Yes, it is true. As a matter of fact, that I'm thinking about it, let's see if I can call up something awesome. Because I have a message I'm working on. Let me make sure I've got a good background. This one might get screenshotted. Let me get onto Bullroar here first and get the reward track up then. While I do, I will answer that question in a moment. All right. Oops. So right now on Bullroar, it's access through character, and then we got reward track. This is very much a work in progress. Very much a work in progress, but I do want to show you one of the main things that we got going on here today. While I answer this question, which is that yes, Indeed, we do have trait points. Trait slots that we're making free. On top of that, we're going to be raising the gold cap, or making the gold cap free. Rather, we are making the gold cap free. And you're going to be making the premium wallet free. So, gold cap, premium wallet, trait slots. In alphabetical order. There we go. Oh, let me get our screenshot. I got a smile on. There is nothing worse than going through YouTube as an adult on your own television set and seeing a picture of yourself as a thumbnail on a stream that you did a day ago. There may be things worse. There's lots of things worse in the world, but let me tell you, it is not talk about cringe, man. Seeing yourself on the television set every time, I'm just like, God, why do I have to be on camera? But I do it anyway. So there we are. But I need to be better about getting decent thumbnails. So I'm trying to be a little bit better about that. Yeah. All right. Something about an instance group finder, someone wanting plans to create it. I do think that long-term that would be something we would love to be able to do. I don't have anything to announce today regarding that, but, you know, longer-term doing something about grouping would certainly be a great priority. So. Any update on the Walls of Moria quest bug? Character unable to reforge old LIs. Should people wait for CS or use in-game workaround? Either is fine. If you have an in-game workaround, do it. That's fine. If you need to wait for CS, though, CS will be able to assist you with that issue. Will the combined DDO Lochero my account stuff remain? I assume you talk about like in the future when we do the forums and further account work. Yeah, none of that's going to change. Everything that your account is not really going to change in terms of kind of how it's hooked up and all that sort of thing. It's just going to be front end, mostly. And anything on the back end shouldn't be really visible to you. I really can't talk about the Lochero graphics update that people are hyped about. I look forward to the day when we have more we can say about it. So, there we go. Whoa, that is big news. It is. That was big news, huh? It's one of those few times as a community manager where you're like, you know what? No one's going to hate you when you say that. If you were just able to say that every single day, man, wouldn't life be grand? But it's true. It's true. All right, so it's a reward track. I don't know that there's really a whole lot to say about it. I can look at a few things that were in the release notes, but you know, you've played video games before, presumably, and you've seen a reward track before. You'll access it through your character toolbar right now. It's very much a work in progress. It's seasonal, and at the end of the season, an all-new reward track will replace the current one. This is an LI-focused reward track, so things like traceries, tokens, ancient script will reappear season to season, but their frequency and drop value will change over time. So what you get where and how much is going to change after we sort of go through a season, which, you know, probably something in the range of quarterly, but we'll see what ends up happening there. Rewards must be claimed in sequence at this time due to a technical limitation. This is something we hope to improve in the future. Unfortunately, we have some deep tech that our engineers are like, ugh, on that one. But it is hopefully something we will be able to do. In the meantime, though, I don't actually think it's going to be much of a public issue because I suspect most people are going to claim their rewards. But theoretically, if you let them all pile up, you're going to need to go from left to right and just kind of unlock them in sequence. Runes applied in bulk is not functioning at this time. We know that it's a valuable quality of life feature, and it's something we're going to be doing. And there will be a repeatable reward at the end of the reward track. It's not yet into this bull roar build, but essentially what's going to happen is when you get to the end of the reward track, it's going to be a repeatable thing. And that'll just run until the new season begins. Again, I'm not sure that I would expect a whole ton of people to necessarily reach that all the time, but, we'll see. And then I think that's about it. Then we're looking at ways to improve the scroll bar, and a lot of that UI actually is still being polished up. It's in a functional state in terms of the system, but it's not really prettied up yet. So that's why it's the first look at it in a preview. Otherwise, I would just say in terms of Bull Roar, let's see, what do we got? Unfortunately, due to an issue with decorations from other players' properties accidentally intruding on other people's lawns, we have a known issue on this Bull Roar related to Erebor housing. Mobile hooks need a little bit of work yet for lower courtyard of deluxe Erebor houses. Hopefully that is an issue that we'll be able to fix in time for update 32. That's the only other bit of new news I see, really. Stable Masters and Trollshaws, Erisian, parts of Erisian, Lothlorien, Southern Mirkwood, and Aaron Lisgallen will use their Elk Travel mode. There's some extra dialogue in a chapter, not relevant. Enemies in Elder Slate and Gundabad missions will execute their induction skills in 5 seconds, down from 10. Brawler all-group buff effects smaller than 10 meters have been expanded to 10 meters, so they're going to get a AoE, or a group buff effect distance increase, and all AoEs shorter than 7 meters have been extended to 7 meters, so their range for AoE attacks will also be going up. We've also got the Hidden Horde of Ab Nankara, and that's going to be our next raid, so things happening there. Or not next raid, but changes to the current raid. That's what's going on. Anyway, whatever. That's what we got going on. Bull Roar this week. So I think really next week's going to be focused on Lotro.com. Week after that, we'll be doing a patch. And I think I'm mostly caught up on the short-term news here. I don't really see anything else I should mention. I guess I would mention again, we have a 10% Virtue XP boost through January 30th. All right. Let me look at chat here, and then I'm going to do a little bit of questing. I will probably... Anyone want me to put up the reward track one more time? I guess I'll just do it so people can take a look. But it's really pretty basic at this moment. It does preserve your position, thankfully. And since I have no progress, because I just transferred this character, I got nothing really to show you in terms of unlocking things. But, it's a reward track. Pretty basic. All right. Will account-wide cosmetics be added to those rewards? So I think that remains an open question. Currently, and I believe for a while here, the focus is going to be on legendary item. So I believe the LI reward track is going to be an LI reward track more than a cosmetic pet reward track or something like that. However, there's nothing theoretically stopping us from offering just about anything in those rewards that the community wants or that we want to give out. So I think that there's plenty of opportunity to do things with the reward track long term. But short term, it's really going to be focused on legendary items. I mean, it is the legendary item reward track after all, so. Are those mice on my t-shirt? This is actually, yes, mice kind of jousting, fighting on top of guinea pigs. And it's an old t-shirt I've had a long time. And the name of the t-shirt when I purchased it was called War Pigs, which is, a Black Sabbath song. And I just think it's cool. Plus, it's largely unbranded, so I can wear it. Oh, I lost my background. Yes, I did. Sorry about that. Well, let me just get into the regular game world, and then it will be back. Let me check out YouTube here. Is there a reason the character portrait frames on the legendary server are not available on the normal servers for doing the same quests and deeds, even though they are in the database? You're right. I mean, you're right. The legendary server character portrait frames, I think theoretically on the back end, we could just let anyone get them, but that's kind of not the point. So that's why they're legendary. That's why they're on the legendary worlds, because if you want them, you go there. Am I a Vikings fan? No. I don't hate the Vikings. I don't really care about football in general. American football. American hand egg. All right, any plans to develop the crafting system? I'm sure that we will be having work on the crafting system in the future. When is the reset time on the reward track? Will it be a reset on Thursdays like everything else? I would say the odds of the formal time being 3 a.m. Eastern on Thursday, fairly high. But I don't actually know the answer, whether it could also be that it's something we manually reset during a patch. So I think it'll be one of those two things. Either manually reset during a patch or at a time of our choosing, or it'll be formally on the world event system and shut off at 3 a.m. Eastern. I don't yet know which one's which. We will see. Will we be focusing on storage? We would love to focus on storage. I would love to see us do something there in the future. Nothing to announce today. Any plans for further lore master mobility? I have not heard of any plans for further lore master mobility. I remember I have been keeping an eye on that forum thread about some lore masters who were feeling too supporty, or maybe not even supporty enough, and want to be a little less of a support role and be able to do some other things. I've forwarded that along to the team, and hopefully when we are in a position to do some lore master work, we'll be able to take your suggestions into account. Yes, right now, and I did just talk to the guy. I actually forgot to look where I was supposed to be going here. I literally logged. I've been working straight till noon here, and then also I had to go to the grocery store to get cat food. Don't tell my bosses. I had to go to the grocery store to get cat food because we're supposed to get like 2 feet of snow. And we're supposed to start tonight and I have to work through the afternoon to the evening. And Miss Elizabeth Bennet will not handle a day without cat food, especially if I have to go through a snowstorm to get it. So I had to get cat food this morning, and I instead of plan for live stream. But I totally didn't just say that out loud. Okay. Where am I going? I must be back elsewhere. Okay, I need to speak to the NPC about the tomb, right? The Old Lords. Why am I not a ring there? Or no, I am. I just not seeing it. Okay. Let's do the Hobbit gifts live. Okay. All right. Also, looks like I think my sound is down, or I'm just not hearing it. Okay, no, it's there. I hear it now. All right. Rank. Oh, let me check out Facebook. I hope I have lots of human treats as well. Actually, I'm pretty well stocked up on the pantry. I've got flour. I'm a baker of sorts, so I'm probably just going to be baking a bunch of bread and stuff tomorrow. If I'm stuck at home, I'll play video games, bake bread, and have a little bit of writing work to do other things. And if things really get slow, I can always work on the new Locher.com. Yes, Andrew, I am aware on the Bullroar forums of the negative feedback against random traceries on the reward track. Please give us the ability to choose. I think the intention is not to weigh the system down by doing that much, if at all. However, remember, you can deconstruct and then get the things you want with that. So I think the intention is probably going to remain random rather than a weighty pick-your-own system. But we'll have to see what the future brings. Perhaps that's something we could do in the future. Is the reward track progress character or account-based? Account-based. And same with the rewards. Well, yeah, I mean, progress is account-based, and then you can pick the reward on any character once you've unlocked the reward. When will task item carry-alls come back? It's been almost 14 months since they were briefly available in the store. Is that true? Has it really been a year plus since we had task item carry-alls available in the Lotro store? That seems like something we could do. I will pass along the word. How many cliffs will I fall off of, and how many trips will he make to a res circle today? Hopefully none, probably some. Let's see, shall we? Alright. Yeah. I'm not a prepper. I'm not nearly prepared enough. But I could probably go a couple weeks of food in the house. And I like to camp, so I got firewood. Not like firewood's going to be all that great if you're, it's 60-mile-an-hour winds and you ain't got any power. But, oh, okay. Hopefully that won't happen. I will say that I am working on some of the stream issues. One of the things I started doing here is I've been testing like the NVIDIA encoding of streaming versus software-based. I haven't quite got that done yet. I'm also looking at my bit rates, see if I can equalize them across the various places that I'm streaming to. I don't have a budget. I can't get budget for Restreamio. I gotta pay for it myself if I want it. I don't want to pay for it myself. We'll see.
Shall endure, as we always have. Have you a moment?
All right.
We have done what we can for now. We need to inform Ozma of Yang Marine's activities here.
Okay. All right. And so I need to get to Bori here. That's what I got to do. All right. Well, let's do that then. Yeah, that's right. I didn't even think about how I said that. You're right. You're right. I just said I was going to create a fire in a hurricane. Probably not the easiest thing to do. Probably not. Might make for funny YouTube content. Probably not very effective. But actually, okay, so I guess, let's just say doomsday scenario here. I actually have a detached garage and an old iron wood stove in the garage from back when people would, the homeowners, prior homeowners of the property would like work on their motorcycle in the winter and things like that. Probably even dating earlier than that. let you have a winter heat in the garage. So I think in a worst case doomsday scenario, if my house was, 20 degrees, etc., I could go into the garage and start a little wood stove. The chimney is not great, but it'll work. The bandwidth cap thing didn't do any good about the lag for the vast majority. When can we expect to see some improvements? I'm guessing you missed the earlier part of the show where I discussed that. We definitely recognize that we didn't get a lot of reports of significant improvement on the Lotra side, but we do know it's made a big difference in resolving, people who are running into the bandwidth caps. So my guess would be people, PvP raids, large groups are the ones who are going to see the most impact, but those are also the areas where we have the most other stuff also happening. So what you end up with is a scenario where I suspect once we do further work in the future to, continue to kind of lock things down and make things work, as we remove other sources of lag, eventually we will have hit the point that we would have received, you would have seen the issues caused by this change had we not done this. So, yeah, it's made a big difference. However, I also recognize that today it has not made a significant, visible difference on the game worlds. And it is our hope and plan to continue working on it. We've actually talked a fair amount, I think, about some things that we've been doing, including some of our longer restarts, frankly, are responses to that. We're doing a lot of kind of hardware and software work. We have a performance strike team that I'm a part of in terms of communicating a lot of your threads and reports. When people say, well, what kind of, do they have any trace routes on the forums? Yeah, it's my job to go get them. And so we've been meeting, and we are continuing to do work that you'll be seeing in future patches. And frankly, during longer weekly restarts, as we have our technical operations team do both hardware and software and environment optimization work. Being defaced runes, unfortunately.
Stories that have come down through the ages to us.
They stir our passions and fill us with dwarf pride. One of these tales concerns these very tombs. According to legend, the lords of Gundabad will one day rise from their crypts and walk once again among the living. When they see the evils perpetrated by the orcs in Gundabad, they will unleash their wrath upon those who despise the great dwarf halls. Despoil the great dwarf halls, slaying their enemies from sunrise to sunset. Then, when their day of reckoning is done, the great lords will return to the house of rest and slumber again for eternity, the mountain home, free of their foe.
Perhaps it is just a legend after all.
Okay, so we're going to be helping him do some excavation. Can we get a Halloween Encore Festival? There's a... I mean, potentially we could. How much interest really is there Does everyone, I mean, really? Specifically this past harvest map. You want a repeat of this past harvest map? Well, let the team know. See if maybe we could fit it in somewhere. Any news about Creepside updates? I don't. You know, we had a bunch of PvMP work done fairly recently. And, nothing further to announce at this time regarding future PvMP work. But, we'll see. You love the new housing ambient environments. Yeah, that's going to be really exciting. I happen to notice that on the Deco du Milieu blog, I think it was this week, they put all those ambient environments screenshots up on the blog. So it's a real nice way to just kind of see it all in one place. Ooh, this is cool looking, huh? Sadly.
Orcs or goblins have looted this room. It is a pity.
Reminds him of a mosaic that once stood under the throne room of the hall under the mountain, in which Stali the Hewer had begun to restore. I wonder if this is similar to that one. Alright. There's a do over on YouTube. You said you have not received the items you want from Extra Life. You have not logged into the forums in some months. Can you still get the codes or question mark? Yes, please do. However, you will need to log into the forums to let me know, or I guess you could message Locher on Twitter. Either way, please do get in touch with me. I recently did a whole bunch of work on Extra Life and am largely done for this year. So if you haven't heard back from me on Extra Life, please do get in touch with me post haste so I can get you your stuff. There's no deadline, though. If you're watching this video in the year's 2025 and I'm still kicking around and working at SSG and everything, and you never got your stuff, hit me up. That's fine. I'll get you your stuff then. But I would hate to have someone, you know, miss out. So please do let me know. All right, and I am going through Facebook now. Stuart, I'm afraid that I don't really... Oops. How about not go that way? I don't have an answer to your account support query. I apologize, but I don't actually... Can't help you there, man. I'm live on the air. It is my hope that we will be able to get your issue resolved, though, so that you can purchase the expansion. I know we did have an issue this past week, right? Where the store was down for a little while, so maybe that was just it? Have you tried? We tried again recently. Otherwise, account support's going to be the one that'll be able to help you out. They have access to tools to be able to make your purchase happen. So please do get in touch with them through help.standingstonegames.com. And same boat in Maine. Yeah, I mean, pretty much what most of New England, I think, is expected to get hit hard with this stuff. And here we have the Houses of Rust. Alright. I think I'm the wrong way, though, aren't I? I think I need to go all the way back down, don't I? Yep. Oh. Are we going to close Shadowfax? No. There are no plans to close any of our game worlds I'm aware of. I would say Shadowfax and Treebeard, you know, even if they get fairly small in population, we'll keep them open because there are people who are still interested and who do run on it. So I have not heard of any plans to change that. This right, and then if I go up this way, yep, go. Yeah, let me not get destroyed by hobgoblins. That was awesome. Alright. Cosmetic ward pets, please. I can pass along the suggestion. I don't know. That seems a little lore breaking, does it not? But maybe? I believe in giving the people what they want. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just being goofy. Alright. Can we get naked hobbit outfits? Probably not. I'm just gonna say, probably not. We're not that kind of game. Will we need to make a new sign-in for the new forums? Eventually, yes. And the way we're going to handle name duplication is just make it against the community rules to steal someone's name. Otherwise, I actually believe it's an issue that could cause a lot of stress, but in practicality will be fairly insignificant. And the reason I say that is because, one, I can just rename anyone that I want to. Two, a lot of the people who are most engaged in the Lotro forums are likely to be among the first to log in and grab their names. That's really kind of how it goes. And three, if, let's say, you are a Chromite, you know, let's just use him, sorry, Chromite, for using you as an example, but if you're Chromite, ain't nobody going to be stealing Chromite Swiftpaw on the Lotro forums, not under my watch. And if they do it, they're just going to get banned / renamed / whatever. So we'll take care of anything as we need to on a community, you know, ground level basis. And I'm not expecting it to actually be much of an issue. Can you clarify that new and existing players will have this benefit? This benefit being presumably the wallet trait gold cap. Yes, that's new and existing. When we go live with update, I think it's update 32 is, I think, the current time frame for that. So it's not. It's thank you. So someone actually said, "Is this a Mouse Guard shirt?" It is not. It is not a branded Mouse Guard shirt. I know Mouse Guard because I actually like that comic a whole bunch, and the RPG system ain't bad either. All right, let's see what else I got in Facebook chat. You've heard rumors about closing servers. Is that true? That is not true. Not even slightly. I have heard of no plans to close any server at any time, and I can't even think how long. So, I guess, what, Ithel, kind of. That's it. So... Alright. Can we get a female dwarf folk? I would very much like to see that happen.
We must do something about this city. Shakajat, it is called.
I know that it is a topic of much controvert. But if you want Cordo's opinion, do it anyway. I literally do not care what possible lore justification there may be for not having female dwarves in Lotro. I literally do not care. I'm sorry. It should happen because it's a good thing to do, and because people want it, and because it's right. Period.
I suppose I can cause a distraction, if I must. Very well. You and Emak will fashion a suitable distraction.
So the Green-Eyed Gamer, thank you for your question on Twitch about, are we going to get back the feature that allowed us to preview cosmetics in the Lotro store? I don't know is the answer to that. It was removed due to some, difficulties run into by engineering as we were working to kind of improve the store and everything. There's some issues with it right now. And I don't know that we're going to be able to bring it back in its current form. Obviously, we would like to have some kind of way for you to preview some of this stuff. But what exactly form that takes, I don't know. And I'm not sure that it can be the old preview system. But it's something that people are still doing some work on. Other game performance and lag and other priorities, LI, reward track, etc., have had to take precedent. So we haven't really had much time to get to that question, but it doesn't look too likely that we're going to be seeing it back in the way it was, because I think it was causing issues with something or other. All right. That's the latest on that one. There's a lot of kind of support talk over on the Twitch forums. I know that it's a hot button issue, and it's something that we have been working to resolve. We have a new CS agent that came on this week, and I can say that when I look into our ticketing system, I know that our CS agents are working hard and tearing through as many tickets as they can. I'm seeing that backlog actually go down, and that backlog is in terms of pages of tickets to get to. I've seen the number get halved. I think it's about half at this point from what I saw a few weeks ago. So I know that we're making progress, but I also know that we still have a big backlog to get to in terms of customer service. So, I appreciate the frustration that's being expressed in some of Twitch chat here, and I can tell you that we are working diligently to get through it. We are focusing our CS resources on that, and hopefully we'll have faster, better responses and response time to your CS issues here in the future. But in terms of kind of getting into a back and forth about a specific customer support issue that has you frustrated on the Twitch chat, it's really not something I could handle here live on the air, and I do apologize for that. But I read your frustration, and I know that it's something that we are working to resolve as quickly as we can. So. All right, and I think that's pretty much going to wrap up the show. I ended up with a couple of controversial statements here to wrap up the show. What was I thinking? I don't know. Gave my personal opinion on female dwarf folk on Lotro, which is we should totally do it. Post haste, it should have been done years ago. Then I talked about lag. What was I thinking on a Friday? Anyway. Or CS. Yeah, okay, you know what? I actually do need to end up here. So let me wrap up the show before I get onwards. This splish splash in the bath. Fine, I will take care of you too, orc spy. Alright. Thank you so much for watching Court of the Rings on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I'll be back next Friday with more. We have, I believe, more Bull Roars in the works. We've got Update 32 coming up. We've got, our anniversary in April. We got a whole bunch of stuff happening, and then on top of that, the new Loacher.com next week. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it works. I hope it doesn't crash and burn on Wednesday. Gosh, that'll never happen. I just jinxed it. No, it's going to go good. So I'll see you next Friday on Court of the Rings, and hope you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.